When I hit a home run, I usually didn't care where it went. Just so long as it was a home run, that's all that mattered to me. Mickey Mantle. Today, I'm here to discuss a controversy with you about what equipment should be used at what level. More importantly, what baseball bat should be used in collegiate baseball. I've played baseball since I was 4 years old. For the last 15 years of my life, I've been a coach, a collegiate competitor, and more importantly, a baseball connoisseur. You might ask yourself, why should you care? Why is this relevant to you? And that's a valid question. There's a good chance that a majority of you will become fathers and mothers. And just like anything else, why would you want them to be as safe as they can be doing anything? Why should that change when they're playing baseball? My proposition is that at the collegiate level, baseball players should use wooden bats instead of aluminum or composite. The pros of this, it's a safer game. The cons of this, it decreases the popularity and revenue for collegiate teams or clubs. First, let's grapple with some terminology just so we get a base. There are four types of bats. There's aluminum, composite, hybrid, and wood. Right here is a hybrid bat. You have an aluminum handle and a composite head. Now, there have been many certification changes in the last couple of years. Starting in 2003, there's the implication of the BESR, the BESR, stands for Ball Exit Speed Ratio. Basically what the certification is it says that no ball should come off the bat any faster than 97 miles per hour. That was valid for aluminum bats. However, that's when companies came out with the composite idea. Composite bats also test 97 miles per hour off the shelf. However, they have a break-in time, and after they break in, they can reach up speeds up to 115 miles per hour. Now you have the BB-Core, which came into play in 2011 for colleges and 2012 for high schools, according to David A. Russell. These bats test the COP, called the center of percussion, also known as the sweet spot. And basically, it tests the trampoline effect, so that the ball can only compress so much when it comes off the bat. This is what gives the ball the speed exiting the bat. And then lastly, no new certification, but just your good old-fashioned wooden bat. This is a one-piece maple, and there's not a whole lot of certification for wooden bats, except for the fact that the barrel cannot be any wider than 2 5/8 diameter at the widest point, and it has to be a solid one-piece. Many come in maple, ash, birch, or even hickory. So now, let's tackle the cons. The cons are revenue and popularity. According to Scott Morgan, he says that Arizona in 2011 got $69,000 off of ticket sales itself. A Division I program, that is. Not a whole lot compared to its competitors of football and basketball. In 2012, however, because they made it to the College World Series, they had acquired $350,000. That's a pretty fair amount of money. The popularity, however, I bet if you ask anyone why they attend any Major League Baseball game, probably because of the big show. The home runs, the big bombs, and of course steroid use is a big play in that, unfortunately in today's game, but nonetheless, people love a show. From 2007 to 2009, with the BESR certifications, home runs went from .68 per game to .96. The runs from 2007 to 2009 went from 5.58 to 7.12. These are the highest it's ever been in the game. Then look at the stats from 2011, 12, and 13. They're the lowest they've been since 1970. The last 5 years, the attendance of collegiate baseball games has went down. Call it a coincidence, or call it statistics. It's up to you. Let's wander to the pros. Safety. There's really only one, but it's a pretty big one. You might be familiar with sports science John Brenkus. They've done a test on the BBCOR and how they're relevant to wooden bats and how they make the game safer, but there's still a lot of room to test. For a collegiate Division I baseball player, From the time that the ball goes back to the pitcher at 60.5 feet, the pitcher has 375 milliseconds to react. The average individual has a reaction time between 200 and 300 milliseconds. Now you can say to yourself, that's plenty of time to react. But keep in mind, the reaction time is only to realize that something's coming at you, not enough time to, let's say, put up a glove, get out of the way. I think a prime example of this is the 16-year-old Gunnar Sandberg. Gunnar Sandberg was a 16-year-old kid, and he was playing high school baseball. Granted, not collegiate or MLB, but nonetheless, he was a pitcher, 6'3". He took a line drive to the head. He couldn't react fast enough. The ball simply came off the bat too fast. He couldn't move, he couldn't put up his glove. What happened? Well, let's just say Gunnar won't be playing the game again. He was in a long-term coma, and he had to go into surgery. They had to remove part of his skull because his brain was swelling too much. He's going to have a hard time remembering anything. He's going to have a hard time functioning in society. And it was just because he wanted to play the game. He didn't have anything against it. He didn't want to change anything. Now that we've discussed the pros and the cons, safety, and the popularity and revenue, I think it's time to make your own choice. Whether you approach it from a business standpoint or a player standpoint, I just ask one thing: never lose the love of the game.